who tend to get very upset if you try and buff them with Solar Crest or Grave. They don't like that. They thrive on the confusion. The CK, though, he's a man of honor. Of course, being a knight, so we've got to pause early on in the first night. Tofu, big fan. Find any items. Need a second here to get situated, ready to go.
Not sure what team my favorite. I feel like Na'Vi had the strength in this draft the whole time. To be honest with you, like they had they were the ones proposing, and Gaming Gladiators was trying to respond to this. So I'm not sure if I'm entirely sold on the Gaming Gladiators' response to this. I feel like if they can get away with okay lanes and they stop the Zeus from snowballing, I think they have a good game. But this Zeus seems to be a problem to me, right?
Agreed. Well, and it's the Zeus, but also this bounty hunter who can kind of take advantage of the Zeus vision, give Zeus a bit of vision, and be playing a bit better. This Raptor.
This Raptor?
I think
that is a letter in Russian, like the BL. It was supposed to represent a letter in Russian, which, as far as I know, they've told me that it changes the pronunciation of the letter before it, but I don't know what it's supposed to mean. And
maybe a reference to Solar Disruptor, at least. I imagine, right? It's got to be something to do with that. No Disruptor here, no Disraptor, as he does have that dinosaur skin.
Sometimes
oh, that's that way.
I think. I mean, there's no Disruptor here, right?
Oh
Unlucky, I guess. Gold tier as well here for the bounty hunter. I thought we could see amount of gold stolen. Party amount of gold stolen. Is this a chicken? This is a chicken.
Oh,
I don't know.
is that a reference to Legend of Zelda? You steal a chicken and the rest come after you?
I think it's a reference to Counter-Strike where the chickens reveal your positioning.
Oh, yeah? You think so? I mean, that looks like a Zelda. Actually, I can't tell. It's very derpy.
Counter-Strike chickens are also pretty derpy.
That's true.
Back in the day, they would just kind of run around. Yeah, they actually had to change that because you could literally tell where chickens were based, or you could tell where players were based on how chickens were reacting around the map because their spawns were static. Yeah,
that's kind of fun.
It's pretty funny. Yeah, eventually you started looking at that kind of stuff, and Valve was like, "Are you guys really making us patch chickens?"
That's pretty wild, actually. That is wild. In Dota, we've never had chickens, except when you hex someone.
GLHFs.
We need actually, you know what I think? Well, we need a chicken hero. I can't believe we don't have a chicken hero.
Phoenix.
Oh,
He lays an egg.
Oh,
He goes Screech
okay.
Scrock.
Okay, all birds lay eggs though.
No.
Name one bird doesn't lay an egg.
Give me a sec.
You're not gonna find one because they're all birds.
Let me think. Hold on.
Birds lay eggs, Richie.
What about D from It's Always Sunny?
Ah, good one actually. That was pretty good.
There you
That was
go.
pretty good actually.
There you go.
For anyone that Always Sunny fans, you just got a treat there. No one a big fan. What he was I think he was playing in the show match, right?
I don't recall.
In TI, because that's where all the Russian casters decided to use that voice line against Effie to tilt her, and it worked.
30 seconds to battle.
So
I still think the best use of that voice line was when Rudy the Ghost, who has familiar ties with Effie,
his little brother.
yes, ended up getting the voice line spammed against him in his Arkosh gaming matches. It has to be the most tilting thing. I mean, it's one thing to hear your own voice line against you. I'm sure you get that in your own pubs.
I absolutely hate it.
But to be a sibling, you just don't understand as an only child. You lucky man.
The battle
Yeah.
begins.
I had to eat my own siblings in the wound. Lays, he got hit by the poison touch a couple of times. Okay, I see an opportunity. Tofu will be playing with the CK instead, by the way. It seems like Lays might die. That is a lot of poison touch
it's
stacks.
A lot of poison
Good
touch.
body blocks as well. Lays is dead. First blood given to Tofu
And
as
you know
well.
what? He deserves it.
He does.
He deserves it. Nice cast there. Duraccio as well. Simply outscaling Lays by selecting the 2-second stun. There it is. Sometimes lucky. Exactly what Duraccio recognized. If it's a 1-second stun, Bounty just runs away, to be completely honest.
Yep.
They really needed that to be the max stun.
They didn't respect the poison touch enough, though. Poison touch is honestly such a good skill. And that CK lane, I guess they do think they have skill potential. We'll see. I do feel like it shouldn't be that difficult for the Bounty Hunter, but I guess now you have to be really careful with your positioning on Janata, right?
Yeah.
Bounty Hunter is historically really bad against Enchantress because Enchantress just, well, the creeps don't really matter. But Tofu, his positioning has been on point this whole series, so I'm not surprised if he just gets more kills here.
Yeah, they're going to go for a bit of harassment here. He's got the Tango running, so he's not going to really be too bothered. Tofu as well. Looks like he's going to try and go for the creep wave shenanigans here. Got vision on the ward, so he's going to see Sweden Strong here do the same with a very interesting Roche ward as well, rotational ward that does scout this water rune top. Don't always see that one.
Okay, in the bottom lane, I do feel like Enchanter is going to deal much better with the Bristle as well, so that's a point I like. Like, Bristle can't just run at the Enchantress and kill her, because she has a bit of healing, and she also has the creep usually to disengage, right? First point, Nature's Attendance, I also love that. You're here to tank damage before the Beastmaster can get online. And even these days, when you find like boards is the better build, you still go for level 1 access to secure last hits on ranged units. Especially against something like Bristleback that can punish you if you have to go out of position.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like, you know, you've got to be too concerned with the mana cost of axes in this lane, given that, of course, you've just got free stick charges.
Yeah.
So he's going to have plenty of
Good point,
mana
actually.
to utilize. Yeah, he's kind of synergy. One, he gets to stand further away from Bristle. Two, he still gets mana. You know, it's pretty good.
You also don't have support that can secure ranged last hits, right? Enchanter's pretty bad at that, unless she goes for like one skill and impetus, and then that's kind of a waste of the impetus. So
Yeah.
compared to say like a Rubik who has Fate Bolt and can always secure it. This mid lane, to no surprise, is going a little bit Zeus favored, and no one is doing what all Zeus's do in mid lane, which is ignore the matchup completely, pretend you're Coddle, push out the lane, and hope that Timbersaw can deal with the resulting creep.
Yeah, and much like the Coddle matchup, he actually needed to unblock his camp. Of course, mid Zeus's don't take
top
lightning
lane?
bolts.
Are they fighting here? Oh, just a bunch of poison touches. Through a creep at... That's more of a statement than anything.
Yes, the Blightstone as well. So what's he at now on the minus armor? Looks like...
What do you mean minus armor? Only Blightstone.
Oh yeah, only the Blightstone. Yep.
Yeah, that's the answer. They have Reality Rift soon though, so that's gonna help a little bit.
So it's the 2, right? 2 on Blightstone? Yep,
Yeah,
2, and then eventually up to 6. Pretty decent, actually.
But look at that base armor though. People forget about that for BH.
Oh no, I mean...
It's the chicken mainly that covers it.
It is. It's the chicken. Gives a lot of armor. Of course, Sweden Strong doesn't have a chicken, so he has 0 armor. I believe that's how it works.
That is how it works.
Dazzle
looks like a chicken, which is why he has a little bit of armor.
Here they go. The level 3, I believe, for Duracho. He's going to take the second point actually in Chaos Strike. Just looking for a big crit here. Doesn't find it on the first go or the second go. Third go. Nope, fourth. Here it comes. There it is. 124 damage. It's a 50-50 chance every time. You either crit or you don't. And that time he did.
I wonder if that's how you're supposed to play this lane. Doesn't it seem like toss onto the Dazzle would be better so he can't reapply the Poison Touch constantly? Like, as long as this... I guess he's trying to prevent the stun from coming out, but I feel like the Chaos Bolt will come out no matter what.
Yep.
It's a pretty long range spell, right? And it's good animation. Whereas I think stopping the Dazzle and preventing his Poison Touch from being reapplied is a bigger deal here.
And there's a kill down bottom, even another skirmish, as I think Solo is likely to die here.
They have Axis still. They actually went for full Axis build, by the way. As the Quill Sprays are coming out of the Beastmaster.
A little funny looking there. Careful here, Sweden Strong. He's, of course, in the minus armor. Physical damage as well. Amped. He might just be dead. That's a toss in place. Avalanche to cover his retreat.
Poison Touch?
But they reapply the Poison Touch, and that shall condemn him.
Oh, this Dazzle lane is doing much more than I expected.
He absolutely destroys a Tiny. It is not close, yeah.
I guess we didn't consider, but it's very obvious. Like, double melee versus Dazzle, right? What are you supposed to do against that? You know, there's nobody to properly disengage without committing suicide themselves.
Yeah, and all Bounty can do is Skeleton Walk away, basically. Shadow Walk,
yes.
sorry. Very different abilities.
Yeah, Skeleton Walk gives you movement speed. There it is. There's the Poison Touch. Okay, Avalanche. Now they know. Yeah, see, they get rid of the Dazzle. Okay. So Sweden Strong is learning about the lane as well as we are.
Yeah, man, he's got full medallion now, so that's pretty terrifying, right? So they can take him down to, I believe, minus armor now already. 5, 7, and then a bit more as well on this. Is a total of minus 11 armor here. I mean, look how effective this is even against the Tiny.
Did you see what he did there? Aggro's the creeps so they get a couple of hits into Sweden Strong before. That's full efficiency. Absolutely love
Lays
that.
has even been reduced to finding CS versus him using the Shuriken. Kill down bottom, but Lays does need to get out of this one. It's, again, physical touch. Poison touch is physical damage, so it is amped by this minus armor.
Yes, exactly. Bottom lane, they also got another kill here against the Winter Wyvern. This Axe build brutal against Winter Wyvern. And I guess that's why they needed to go boards. Maybe Ace just prefers this build overall. Okay, I thought for a second he already had a helmet. I thought that would be ridiculous, but he is getting close to it, however. I feel like it's really interesting to see Sweden Strong adapt to this lane, you know? Like, sometimes you just haven't played a matchup before, and you have to realize how the matchup goes. And these guys are the best of the best in the world, and they still are learning with the lane. But the quick adaptability says a lot about Sweden Strong, and I'm glad that he's trying new things, you know? Yeah. Even if you lose this match, you have lower brackets to go through, and now you'll be better against the Dazzle matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that this Dazzle here might be a little bit of a sleeper. I saw the changes to him. The changes to the ulti are very confusing when you just kind of first read them. Basically, you just always want to be spamming spells on the hero with good juju. And of course, the heal amplification you receive is very, very strong. This is maybe even a dead Swedish strong. Tofu is going to not live through it, though. No grave for him in time anyway, as no one is going to be able to drop the ulti.
Did he go for a
secure
point
the
in
kill.
Grave? He did, okay. Yeah, Grave is actually a pretty long cast point, especially early. That's why a lot of Dazzles in like core roles don't go for Grave, right? I would actually say Grave early on Dazzle core, it tends to be a grief, but on support it's fantastic, especially with heal amp. And there's the Helm. That's a very early Helm on Ace. Okay, that's really good. Now between Helm and Enchantress, I don't think this tower can survive. But we'll see how strong Bristleback can be.
Oh, here's
Tofu's
Tofu.
already rotating. He has the Shadow Wave plus, you know, surrounding with Zoo, so that's a strategy.
Yeah, the damage is decent. I think it's something like 400 damage here early.
It's 320.
Oh, yeah. No, you can do 400 if you get yourself.
Right, true. Yeah. But I don't think Dazzle...
Non-Dazzle player detected.
Okay, I actually play a lot of Dazzle, but I don't think Dazzle gets to do that, though, realistically.
Well, we'll see here. There he goes.
Yeah. Oh, look how he got himself.
Oh, and Duracho...
Vitoon actually ignored this damage completely. They commit the roar.
Tofu is dying.
They need this kill somehow, Vitoon! Oh my god, he's actually tanking through this. Ace is going to be the one who tanks it for the team and finishes him off, but Duracho did die in the top lane there. As we see his death summary, he was just caught up by the Zeus. Makes sense.
Radiant's middle tower.
I mean, it had to happen, but because the objective for gaming Gladiators now is this bottom tower. Like, taking a bottom tower, or the safe lane against Bristleback is crucial, because part of the reason that you play Bristle or Lifestealer, these like really strong laning carries, is defending at tier 1 much longer than they usually would. So if they can just take it by default, you're taking one of the dimensions of this hero away from him, right? So it's one of his strengths that doesn't seem so powerful because of Beastmaster.
Oh, and he's even got all this bonus armor now and the ice armor from the Ogre Frost Mage. Makes it a very unpalatable target here early. They're going to have to get him through him with the magical. Top lane already. Vitoon has transitioned. Yeah, that is going to give Ace then a free tower, especially with the potato. Get him, boys! Death throws.
Never thought about that. Respect as well for Vitoon, who decides to leave the lane, right? As opposed to being stubborn and saying, but I'm Bristol, I should be able to win. Doesn't matter. Just leave the lane, go top, find farm elsewhere.
Double Vanguard here for both Lays and Vitoon.
Good call. There's a lot of swarming from the enemy team. There's a Dazzle as well. I think Vanguard is a good choice. Even a CK, honestly. Vanguard stops his illusion damage. A little bit.
Yeah, no, very true. Yeah, it does. Certainly does.
I would like to see maybe a Vlad's on the bounty as well. I know it's very popular to go just straight Ags, but maybe this game... I don't know. I don't know how strong Ags feels. It feels like a good item if you win your lane, but otherwise maybe Aura Bounty Hunter is a bit better.
Solo doesn't quite get this kill. Of course, Celery has nothing to fear with level 3 enchant. He's going to be bringing over the Hurricane Creep into the arms of Ace, who can start throwing these axes just to start stacking them a bit more. There we go, stack number 1, and all the creeps from the world come join in from the mid lane to condemn the Wyvern.
They play these lanes so well. Gaming Gladiators just feels like they're outclassing Na'Vi ever so slightly, you know. And the slower draft of Na'Vi makes it difficult for them to make plays as well.
Scary there, but...
Troll Summoner as well. Okay, Primal Roar, they're committing to this. Here comes Boom as well with the Chaos Bolt. They keep Bristol in place.
Nicely done.
Thunder God's Wrath at least gets rid of Ace and Celery though, and they have an opportunity to kill Tofu as well. They need a little bit more damage. He uses the Shallow Grave, TP's away, no way to cancel this. Oh, never mind. The Shuriken actually got him. Thanks to the track, and that's Tofu dead. And now Duracho is on the retreat. Lay's chasing after him. They need some sort of slow, something. Will he Shadow Walk? He does have it, but he doesn't want to overcommit here. So they will lose the tower, but at least in exchange they get a couple of kills. They're mostly track kills, not that bad.
Yep, not bad. They lose the tower though, and they're not really in a good position to take it back, especially because Boom is simply just way too tanky right now. No Hooded Defiance yet, but I think it's about to be completed here by the courier, indeed. So now he's got the barrier to tank it through another extra salvo, basically, of Zeus spells. It's a good way of thinking about that. Sweet and strong.
Stupid Pinecone.
Yeah, go instead for the Hawk. It's a bit of an easier kill. For sure.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Down bottom, just getting some farm is Celery, who has a decision to make here with his skill builds. I wonder, you cannot stack Solar Crests, so I don't know what he's planning on doing with that Blightstone.
You can stack Solar Crest with Medallion though, right?
You can,
so
you can.
One of them can go Medallion, one goes Solar.
That is maybe a possibility, yeah.
It seems a bit wild of a play, but hey, you know.
I mean, hey, when it buffs all the damage I'll put on your team, why not, right?
It does feel like you also want to buff the CK a fair amount, because, well, the Timbersaw scales, right, and to some degree also does Beastmaster, you have one main quote-unquote traditional carry, right? Whereas the enemy team, I feel like Zeus scales pretty nicely, so does the Bristleback. So getting a little bit of steroids on the traditional carry is a good idea.
My money. More money.
Yep, that's what he's been looking for the whole time.
More money.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Waiting for the next
More
one.
money?
Next round. Boom is done with this. Stop taking my gold!
He's like, I think he's lost money standing here.
I think so too. I think these creeps are not worth it. But Lays realizes, surely someone's coming for me at this point. They're not going to let me just freely steal the Timber's gold.
I mean, apparently, he's totally fine with that. I guess Boom more concerned at this stage with getting Chakram up to level 2. More money!
Or killing Lays. That also
and
works, right?
Oh, not quite.
Very, very close though. The track does help him get away from the Chakram.
Yep. Additional move speed there.
Boom. You can see the anger in his moves.
Yeah, and he really made no progress towards this Kaya and Sanj.
That's frustrating. Timbersaw is usually a good farmer. Oh,
Is that
God's wrath.
just for vision in general?
I think so. Maybe to deter Lays. Oh, they actually sent him back. What a toss.
Oh.
However, the toss almost kills poor Lays. If Boom had Whirling Death and Chakram in place, I think they could have killed him.
Yeah.
But he didn't. I mean, because you know, right? If you're tossed to nowhere, there's definitely an Invis Bounty Hunter there.
Yeah, compared to if you poison touch no one, right?
And
So-
there's a dying Zeus.
a wild hog right there. Yeah. Gotta be a little bit more careful.
I mean, the Bristleback doesn't have to be close to him, right?
Oh, that's true. Well, then you've got no one, nowhere, nothing at once.
Yeah, well done, well done. I had to think that through.
Dire's
That was a hard one.
Yeah, a
under
little
Oh,
bit.
more money!
More money.
Welcome to the game show. where-
Oh, how deep are the pockets here of the Timbersaw? When will it end?
Let's find out!
Is there money in the piggy bank? Yes, there is. Going for some more now. Oh, nice job there on the Shuriken. Even more money stolen now. Another
Jesus
plus
Christ.
36 ready to go. Oh, he didn't complete the attack.
Okay, maybe... I don't mind Bounty Hunter using his time to do this, but I feel like maybe Zeus rotating, you gotta get a kill at that point. Because it's like, he is pushing the lane, he is getting level 2 Chakram. I agree that's the biggest point of inflection. More so than Kai and Sanj. And CK is just free farming this whole time. I guess so is BB though.
Oh, missed the auto attack. Clicked on one of the creeps instead. Tofu. Yeah, I mean, at least it forces Boom away. He's at least making slow and steady progress here. Now that he's not being geniated every 2 seconds. It's a lot of gold, man.
It is a lot of gold. Oh, seriously. The Janata game show. Only one winner and one very clear loser.
So, like, if you have no money, if you have less than 36 gold, do you still steal 36?
You still get the gold, but the enemy doesn't lose the gold.
Yeah, of course. Could you imagine you go negative gold and you overflow to 99999?
You start owing debt.
Yeah.
You owe debt to the Dota bank.
Yeah, that's the next hero. It's Bounty Hunter, and then it's Tax Collector or something like that.
All of a sudden, Silencer, every time he gets enough int, he
Yeah.
needs to pay his student loans.
What you end up doing is your ulti is you just like repossess mounts.
CK loses half his movement speed. Enchantress loses 2 sets of legs.
Yeah, something like that, right?
is under
Like I said, we're done the CK now, so that's going to help him fight, but it is going to be Ace who leads this charge.
Oh, this is a
with the
nice
dragon.
warrior snipe. Kill
And-
someone.
Batoon, okay,
Yeah.
he faces back to them though. The fireball's in the right time, or the right place rather. As the Timbersaw, annoying him a lot. Here's the help from the Cold Embrace. Thanks to the Whirling Death, is not going to heal as much though, because they're taking away his strength. And that's a dead Bristleback, together with Solo, who also falls. Sweet and Strong want to join
Wow,
them, but
this
he joins
minus
them in the
armor.
grave instead.
This minus armor is really working. I mean, they're just melting in these fights. They get the courier as well, which is going to be very obnoxious. It's not like Ag Scepter is ready, don't get me wrong, but the extra stats do go a long way here, the extra HP and mana. It's rough, dude. That's a really, really rough fight for Navi to be, forced to swallow at this stage.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Tofu as well, not even needing to get in there with a grave. And yeah, with all the minus armor, they can certainly go right into Roche.
Let's see. Seems like a really easy Roche, honestly. Their physical damage is not that high, but with a minus armor, it just seems like it falls so quickly. Obviously, the axes also help out a lot. The early Helm of the Overlord. Ace has been such an impactful hero this game. I mean, no disrespect to Boom, but it just feels like Boom could have done nothing this game, and it doesn't matter, because the rest of Gaming Gladiators is managing to have such an impactful early. And Boom has managed to deter the Bounty Hunter, make him lose his time, annoys no one a little bit. It works out.
It is, and all to the detriment of Batoon, right? He's still only about halfway towards his Ag Scepter. Yes, halfway exactly. There's a point booster on his Dead Courier, which will be posthumously It's not really posthumously delivered if
The Courier is
Courier
dead.
comes back, right?
Well, yeah. If your messenger dies, it's still posthumous, or is it you have to die because you're an object, right?
Hmm.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, I'm not
is
sure.
I
under
guess
attack.
so. Messengers
sure.
die all the time. We don't really.
That's true.
That's why it's called.
Don't-
Please
don't-
shoot the messenger.
Ah, exactly. That's the phrase.
That is the
I
phrase.
believe.
Are fortified.
Okay. Is going to be a tower falling. Interesting they take the tier 2 top first, but this gives you ownership over the enemy triangle, so it can be really strong. Not one of Radiant's best assets, but this loses Radiant Roche
Radiant's
control.
top tower has fallen.
Yeah, and I mean, the entire time, Boom as well is pushing waves mid, preventing some cheeky cutting from going through. So with this first Aegis, they could still look now for a second tier 2 tower.
That Axe is super delayed in the Bristle, by the way.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
he really
it's-
only 2 items in?
Yep. Well, a third right now that he's going to be able to buy for one of the staff, right?
Okay.
But yeah, he's 3 or 4 items in, still needs 400 gold. It's pretty late.
The Bounty Hunter is on his team, not on the enemy's.
Yeah, and Bounty, even though he's
Oh,
stolen a fair
fight.
amount of gold, hasn't gotten very much.
Okay, that's an Enchantress dead. Does see Mother Winter's Curse, at least caught Boom. Can they turn this into a kill? It's a little bit difficult with the Whirlwind helping him out. There's a Timber Chin as well. Boom! Is out and about.
He's got another
hoping
grave.
to get away. They do have another grave, but they're not going to need it because in the backlines they're getting destroyed. It's really strong. Going for the Dazzle now, and he doesn't have time to use his grave on himself as Ace is trying to finish off no one. That dragon hits so hard. In comes Boom. Make sure to slice and dice this Zeus away. Immortality? Not quite.
Not quite. Not for him. The Aegis, of course, usurped by Roche, stolen, as I'm not sure really why Zeus sold that to the shopkeeper in the first place, but he did.
Under attack.
It's his shields, and now into the hands of Dyrachyo, who is going to use it to take down the third and final tier 2 tower. That remains for Na'Vi. Map control swiftly in control for GG.
Yes. And who stops Ace right now? He's having such a good game on this Beastmaster. Such an early help on the Overlord. Zeus can't survive against him. And Zeus is not a good hero at clearing that big creep. Eventually when he gets shard, perhaps, with the help of the Bristleback. But as of now, they can just run him down with these tanky heroes. He doesn't deal enough damage.
More money!
No, it doesn't matter anymore.
No, it doesn't.
Look, the Dazzle is actually matching the Bounty Hunter's
Yep,
gold.
yep.
That should not be. How is Enchantress equally as farmed?
Is under attack.
Well, it's one of these fake 5s, right, that just kind of leaves lane and starts farming. Hence
I mean-
why Dyrachyo died early.
I guess, but also... Well, no, he actually went down bottom. He was ganking bottom.
Yeah, I mean, he's still left the lane, right?
Sure.
He's farming. Farms his way there.
Well, no, he just ganked bottom. He bottom and ganked. But anyway, the point is the Bounty Hunter's tracks have just not been effective because you don't have kill potential. You don't really have anyone to play around. Like, your Bounty Hunter is not the best offlaner at, like, getting kills, which is one of the biggest issues with Bounty. That's why people build Ags on him. But then you have Bounty that takes a long time to get online because, of course, you depend on Ags. I don't even know what build he's going for this game. You have the Tiny, which takes... Actually, we're going to find out. Yeah, he is still going for the Axe, which is super slow.
Yeah.
Then the Tiny also needs the Blink Dagger to get online, so that's another issue with you. So you don't have really anyone to play around early. You're hoping Zeus and Bristle would win their lanes. Bristle did okay, frankly not as well as we expected, even against a Beastmaster. And the Zeus didn't do as well as I expected against Timbersaw either. I thought he would just push the lane and ignore Timbersaw, who has less pushing power, especially pre-6, but it didn't seem to matter whatsoever. He just gathered all the creeps around the Timber, he lasted under tower, and it seemed to get online at the right time, especially because Ace dominated bottom so much. 6-minute Helmlet Dominator. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal, even into some more traditional counters like a Wyvern and a Bristle especially, right, who you pick to kind of help deal with the Zoo, especially that early. No real chance. And, well, bit of a longer pause as Tofu is getting reconnected here. Bit of a disconnection. Oh, he's got the shard now, by the way, which is going to hex opponents when they're hit by the poison touch. It's not for very long. I think it's like 1.25 seconds, 7.75. Oh, okay, never mind. 2 seconds.
They buffed it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
They buffed it
significant.
to 2. It's a lot, yeah.
Yeah,
That's why Dazzle's getting paid so much.
it
these
used to
days.
be like a mini hex, basically, like 0.75, which was still good.
Well, it was 1.25 or something like that before the buff. And it got buffed like ever so slightly. Nudge, but this final nudge was to 2 seconds was
It's
huge.
pretty crazy. It's a really good shard.
Yeah, it's very strong. Can you hover over poison touch for a second, by the way? Okay.
What's your concern with it?
Nah, I'll tell you afterwards.
Sure.
It's an old conversation we had off stream.
Oh, really? On
Yeah.
Poison Touch?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, Shallow Grave as well being maxed over the wave. Sometimes you see 3 points in a wave, and then you go back and max the grave. I think that's what Dubu does when he plays the Dazzle. Not sure why, right, exactly. I didn't get the chance to ask, but I'd be interested to hear what the support ideology is when you want to max grave, when you want to put 3 points in poison touch compared to, you know, the pretty standard 1 or 2.
I also agree with the. I like the 3 points a little bit better, personally. The thing about the Shadow Wave is that as a 5 with Shadow Wave, you're allowed to depush lanes. Whereas if you go Shallow Grave, you're fighting with your team. So I think that's where the mentality comes from.
That's a good point.
As a 5, if you have Shallow Grave, you know, many points in it, and you're only like depushing waves or waiting for your carry to farm, you do nothing, right? Obviously, the buffs to Shallow Grave, now that it buffs your heals, makes it a much more valuable spell to take points early. Like before this heal buff on Shallow Grave, honestly, if you took any points in Shallow Grave, besides the only point, right, early, unless you had like a Huskar or something on your team, you were grieving. Like, it was just a bad spell. But now with a heal buff, it makes it much more valuable, because it allows your Shadow Wave to be more impactful. You don't depend on Shadow Wave damage as much. I think Poison Touch as well, the amount of points you put into it depends on how much impact you can have early with the spell. The particular... Like, the fact that it has a longer duration, which means you can reapply more in lane.
The scaling's pretty crazy.
Scaling is really good. But of course, if you max the Poison Touch and you go into the mid game, right, you go, well, okay, but why do I have a max Poison Touch? Even with the shards, like, what's the point? Once you get a second point in it, you already have enough targets, you're already good enough. I think 3 points is a sweet spot, because rarely in a fight do you get 8 targets that you need to actually hex, right? 6 is good, and the rest of the spells don't really matter, honestly.
6 is good. I think this prioritizes heroes, as far as I'm aware.
It does,
It's how it works with other spells as well. So you're not like, if there's a giant creep wave around, you know, you're not scared about, I only hex the creep waves. It does prioritize heroes.
Yep.
Luckily, is how Ice Frog has decided to be merciful to a lot of supports.
Surprisingly fast, you know. I guess because the hex is immediate, but it is surprisingly fast. Also, and we were looking this up the other day, Hex it's independent from the Poison Touch, right? So even though Poison Touch is dispellable, the Hex needs a hard dispel, right? So some spells work where now Poison Touch adds that extra Hex, right? But these two instances are applied independently, which is really nice.
Yep, and of course, because this is Dota and we love our funky spell interactions, if you have a Lotus, and well, it's not if you have a Lotus. If you are Lotused and you also have a Shard, and you reflect Poison Touch, you do upgrade your Hex, or you also apply the Hex for 2 seconds on the Poison Touch when you shoot it back.
Sure.
It's pretty good. Very annoying for a Dazzle.
Yeah. Luckily, it doesn't spread in a million directions, which otherwise that would make some illusion heroes really bad with Dazzle, mind you. CIS doesn't have that problem, though, because he has strong illusions, so the Hex does not destroy those illusions. We'll see. I mean, I don't know how Na'Vi is supposed to get back into this game. To be honest with you, they do have a potential really strong late game power spike with this Zeus. I just feel like this Bounty Hunter has been a non-factor. And I didn't really see the point of Bounty to begin with. Like, if it was against Timbersaw, I can sort of get it, but I think there are better heroes to deal with Timbersaw in lane. And if it wasn't against Timbersaw, I also don't see why the Bounty Hunter was picked up in the off lane.
Internet issue. Thanks for waiting. As Tofu and the rest of GG ready to go yet again. There's a DD rune just chilling down here, of course, hasn't been scouted by either team.
I'm sure they had a mentality for why that hero is good and like why they could snowball off it. But I would just like to ask him. I honestly don't see it. And obviously they're the better players, so maybe one day we get to ask him on this game.
Yep. Yeah, I'd be curious about it, right? I was not super convinced either, even when Saberlight picked the hero. I think we saw it once, at least once, if not twice, in Riyadh.
Collapse and Saberlight both played it.
That's right.
But it seemed, at least the logic was good because, 3 times actually, because they played carry Bounty on Thunder.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
At least the logic there made sense because they picked it up like against Juggernaut or one of these lanes where you destroy the lane, right? So the idea is we just destroy this lane because we don't have Viper, right? And the philosophy in Riyadh was just win and beat up the carry in the early game. So that made sense. But here I don't see that as much, right? Because you're not going to beat up the Timbersaw.
Oh, instant TPs. They're trying to kill Platoon. Whoa, Duracher's not waiting. He's got DD active. He's going for it now. His Tofu is going to be here to aid him as well. Hexed up and killed instantly. Tofu getting the kill credit there.
I also love that they went for the Shallow Grave on the Dazzle just in case, the Quill Sprays.
Yeah, might as well, right?
Yeah, and Lace just dies here. I mean, he's a support. He's honestly a support. He's weaker than the enemy supports. And as a support bounty, I do feel like that's super weak. The only thing support bounty offers is occasionally a track.
I could have seen
Does he have Shard, at least?
On bounty?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe so.
Oh, wow. Okay, so he has nothing.
I really thought this was going to work a little bit better. I liked the rotation threat between him, a Zeus, and a Tiny to kind of pick off some of these heroes, but I guess they were just a little bit too tanky, a bit too fast. Perhaps Dazzle also throws a big wrench in those. gears and prevents that from really even starting up. But either way, it hasn't really gone the way that Na'Vi needed it to go. Even now, their core Bristleback taking a death top lane. It's going to continue to slow the timing of his BKB. At least with that Acceptor up, does pack a bit of a punch. And now, with the smoke play, Na'Vi looking to take a fight on their own terms.
Okay, they find the Enchantress. Frankly, Enchantress is your smoke breaker anyway on gaming Gladiators. No way, Celery gets away. They got
Neck in 5? Yeah, okay.
But the counter initiation is here. They go first for the Winter Wyvern, and they want the Bristle as well, but they need some sort of slow for that. And unfortunately, they don't have it just yet. The Poison Touch will hit. There's the Hexed up Bristle. Instead of trying to find Strong in the backlines, as Vitoon gets sent back thanks to Reality Rift.
Roar's ready.
Some sort of stun. In comes Boom, the Winter's Curse, but it's going to be on a solo Beastmaster, so he's got to find Vitoon fighting alone. He's not going to be strong enough. There's the Roar used on delays. They try to hook him, but that's the Timber Chain. It's not going to work on the Bounty Hunter. Instead, they run over to him, and that's going to kill him off. Great Shallow Grave. They tip him. They cancel the TP, though, for poor Duracho, but he does have an armlet to stay himself alive. Now he'll have to walk back home, as Boom might have gone a bit too far.
Yeah, and Duracho's just farming a camp. He'll be right back in.
Yeah, because thanks to that Chaos Strike, that's going to help him heal up a little bit more, but they realize there's no need to force this too much.
No, not much, and he'll just heal up off the mid creep wave and head right back into battle, but really good fight there from Gaming Gladiator. Settler even dropping a tip onto his fellow support. Very clutch timing there on the Grave. Graved him right before the toss could come in. And that is a bit of a problem here. When the bounty is this underfarmed, he's the one that's meant to kind of cut and find, and if not kill if not kill the Dazzle, at least make it very unpleasant for him to be standing around, even if impossible to get off a very effective Grave. As Duracho, a little bit alone here versus 5, has BKB at least to escape, and now some more support here, as there's going to be the Acorn shot. Doesn't get it to bounce, though. The Pinecone Warrior going to battle, as now Boom is going to come to his aid. Tofu and Salary, though, not too eager to go on up, but Duracho sure is. Immediately goes now back onto the backliners. They need a Grave onto Duracho, and it's here in time. He's going to fight right through the Bristleback, and it's going to be the kill going to Boom. Lays as well. Looks like he might drop just as quick as Boom. Scouts another target. Down goes Solo. Lays under vision and killed off. Gets 3 to Boom as Duracho up onto the high ground. The Avatos combo not going to do much, as Vitoon's going to have to call it. The towel is thrown in, and it's GG. We'll get the 2-0 win over Na'Vi.
That combination of Dazzle with CK seems so strong. Yes, on one hand, of course, that Shallow Grave making sure he always survives, but then afterwards, the Shallow Grave amplifying the heal from those Chaos Strikes made it impossible for you to bring him down.